Hey, first grade, welcome to another day of learning all about timelines. Our target today says I can create a timeline. Now, so far this week, we've practiced learning what a timeline is, why is it important. The last couple days, practiced putting events in order on a timeline, and we know it's really important to make sure those events are in order so we know how it happened. Because a timeline is that line most of the time we're going to see it horizontally, side to side, of important events that have happened in the past. And it shows you those events in the past, how they happened in an order. Well, today it's our turn to make a timeline. So we are going to practice making a timeline about ourselves. Now, if it's about things that have already happened in the past, would it make sense to say, oh, in 10 years I'm going to, I don't know, buy a boat or something? No, because it hasn't happened yet, right? So we need to go and be thinking, what are important events in the past? Now, to make it a little easier, guess what? You are going to make a timeline about yourself. So you know all the important things in your life. Now, we're all going to practice together making a timeline for Miss Lime, but then when it's on your own, you're going to do one about your life, okay? So, on our timeline, we're going to think of the 4 most important events that have happened, and we need to put them in order, okay? Now, because I might think of them out of order, I don't want to write anything down yet. I want to think, kind of like we brainstorm for writing. I want to think, what are important events in my life? Well, the first important event probably was that I was born, right? But wait, there was something else on a timeline that you needed. You can't just say what happened. When. You have to say when it happened. That right. That's right. I think we should probably do years because on a timeline about my life, the things are going to be really spaced out. So I could just say the year that it happened. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so I can say the year I was born. Should I say then like the day I went home from the hospital? No, because yeah, that was important, but on a timeline, do I need to include every single thing? No, just some of the really most important things. Okay, so I'll include when I was born. What if I do when I became a teacher? That was an important day, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, but some stuff happened in between when I was born and when I became a teacher. I moved to Arkansas. That was a really important part in my life. I could put that on my timeline. And, oh yeah, I had to go to school to become a teacher. That would be important on my timeline. Yeah, I think those are the 4 things I'm going to do. Now, there are other important things that have happened in my life. They're just not going to be on this timeline. And that's okay. You might have like a bajillion things that have happened in your life that are super, super important. They just might not be on this timeline, and that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and start with my first event, and it's going to be when I was born. So I'm going to draw a baby. I'm going to try to draw a baby, okay? So here is maybe, what if we did like a cute little baby sleeping, and I'll do some Z's because that'll be like sleeping, and then maybe like a purple blankie. You know how babies are like swaddled in blankies? Well, that looks like Miss Lime is in a cocoon. But that's okay because I'm trying my best. And underneath it, when I put my label, it's going to explain what my picture is. I'm going to say the year because on a timeline, I need to say the year when something happened. So I'm going to say 1993. Well, I am Miss Lime and this is my timeline. I'm going to say, I was born. So for my first event on my timeline, I have a picture of what happened. I have the date or the time, the year that it happened, when it happened, and then I have a really short description. I was born. I I didn't go into more details than that because a timeline is just real quickly, here were the important events, here's when they happened, okay? So there is my first important event. Now, the second important event in my life is what happened next. Yeah, I became a teacher, but is that what happened next? No. So I can't put that on my timeline next. But here's what did happen next. I moved to Arkansas. So I'm going to draw Arkansas. Kind of looks like this. And I'm going to put A-R. Just like Texas is T-X, Arkansas is A-R. Now, underneath right here, I'm going to say 2003 because that's when it happened. 2003, I moved to Arkansas. So let me double check. Do I have a picture of what happened? Yeah. Do I have the date? Do I have when it happened? Yeah. And did I tell you really quickly what happened? Yeah, I did. So far, I can see on my timeline, wow, these are some really important events that are happening. I can see, oh, I was born. Oh, the next, I moved to Arkansas. Okay. The next really important thing is that I went to school to be a teacher. So I'm going to add that to my timeline. Now, I went to school in Texas, so that means I also moved to Texas. So I'm going to draw Texas for my picture. So I'm going to draw Texas, and it kind of looks like this, I think. Miss Lime should probably really learn what Texas looks like. But I think it's kind of like that. And we'll put a TX for Texas. And I'm going to say 2011. I went to college. Okay, let me check my timeline so far. Do I have important events? Yeah, I have pictures to show them. I have the times or the dates when they happened, and I have a few quick little words explaining what each thing on my timeline is. Now, there's one more important event that I'm going to put on my timeline. And I'm going to say, I became a teacher. So I'm going to draw me as a teacher. Here's Miss Lime in, how about a blue dress? Now, Miss Lime is just drawing this really quickly. On your timeline, I want you to take your time and make it absolutely beautiful, okay? And we know Miss Lime kind of has reddish hair, so we'll just do red hair. And I'm smiling because I'm a teacher, of course. So there's my last picture. I know, I just did my best, and you guys are going to do so great. I need to put the date, 2015. I became a teacher. All done. Here is my timeline. These are the really important events that happened in my life, and they're in order when they happened, okay? Because it wouldn't make sense if I put that I was born in the middle, right? That wouldn't make any sense. My important events are in order when they happened, and they happened to me. I told you when they happened. On your timeline, you need to think, what are some important events that have happened in my life so far? Now, I know that we're just in first grade, but important things have already happened to you. Like, you were also born, right? Some of you have moved maybe more than once. Losing a tooth is a really important part if you remember when you lost your tooth. Maybe you had a new baby brother or new baby sister. That's important if they were born after you, okay? Your job is to brainstorm, to think, what are 4 really important events that you could put on a timeline about your life? You're going to need to do a picture, just like Miss Lime did. You're going to need to use a date or tell me when it happened. And then quickly, in just a few words, you can explain what your picture is, okay? Take your time. Make sure you do important events in order. When your timeline is all done, you can click that green check mark.